everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video I have a bunch of new makeup from Avon for you. So I have all of these to show you. We have two of the new 6-pan palettes, Into the Sunset and Cityscape. I'm also going to use the Serum Foundation. My cat just exited the room. And then I've also got two products from the Ooooo Tokyo collection. So all of these are new in July. They had quite a few launches in July, and there was a lot more from the Ooooo Tokyo collection. So what I've done is I've done polls on my Facebook page and Instagram just to see which ones people would like to see more. And yeah, these two were the palettes that people wanted to see the most. I think this one actually won, but I'm very intrigued about this one. And then from the Ooooo Tokyo collection, once I start applying these, I will talk about everything that's in the collection. I have the Calligraphy liner and the lip&cheek blossom, so those were the most popular products. My apologies, part of this video didn't record properly. And this part of the video that I can't recover, I was telling you that there are three 6-pan palettes being launched in July, one of them being this Sandstorm palette, which is the more neutral one. Then we have the Cityscape one, which is a smoky palette, very cool tone. They all come with this little flimsy plastic, which I'm going to discard right now. But the packaging itself is gorgeous. I really love the design of this, and they also come in the boxes, which are here. And then this is the Into the Sunset one, which is this one. The price of the palettes is £7 as introductory price, and would normally be £9, which is pretty competitively priced. I hope I said that right. For 6-pan palettes, and I'm actually quite glad to see Avon jumping on this trend. This is a trend that I am very happy to see, because I like mini palettes that are a little bit more diverse. Speaking of which, the reason I didn't get the Sandstorm palette, first of all, I have plenty of neutrals and it didn't seem as diverse as these ones are. Right, I'm gonna get you into the swatches. If you notice that I have swatches on the back of my hand, so I'm gonna get you into the swatches of the Into the Sunset and which one are you? Cityscape. And then I'll give you a little bit more thoughts, and then I'm gonna apply them to my face, to my eyes. Alright, so Into the Sunset has 3 mattes and 3 shimmers, and Cityscape has 4 shimmers and 2 mattes. I think these ones are a little bit softer than these ones. These two shimmers right here feel a little bit hard, but I think they're still workable. I haven't yet done a look with those. I have done all the 3 mattes. I have a look with those on my Instagram, and I think I've used this in the inner corner. This makes a lovely inner corner highlight, especially for this color story. And for these ones, I've used these two shimmers on their own. They make lovely one and done type of eyeshadows. When I first saw the Into the Sunset palette, I actually thought that this was more of a truer red, and I'm still looking for that truer red. If you have recommendations of affordable palettes with a truer red, please let me know. It is more of a berry red. It is, however, described in the book as the terracotta and pink one. So yeah. I think I'm going to include the Ooooo Tokyo collection here because I want to use this liner with the Into the Sunset palette today. So in the Ooooo Tokyo collection, this is a limited edition collection. Has absolutely gorgeous boxes. I think they have worked with a Japanese artist to design the boxes and make the artwork on them. So we have some eyeshadows, eyeshadow singles, which I didn't pick up because I have enough eyeshadows and I haven't reached for my single as much recently. I go through phases, but yeah, I just didn't want to add to it. Then we have this calligraphy liner, and it comes in black and in red, and I picked mine up in red because I wanted to go, wanted it to go with this palette. And just by, ooh, I'll tell you what, I've yeah, this happened because I put it back in its lid, and I probably didn't put it properly. It's, yeah, it's got fibers and stuff, but we'll see how it works. I mean, it still works all right, so hopefully that's not gonna mess it up too much. But yeah, if it does that every time you put it into your, put the lid back on, it's not very good, but we'll see. Okay, then they had a lip and cheek tint, which they call lip and cheek blossom, and a blush and highlight duo. And I really wanted to get the blush and highlight duo just for the packaging. Because this design is on the actual packaging itself as well. However, a lot more of you wanted to see these lip and cheek tints than the blush, so that saved me a little bit of money, and I wanted to try these as well. So I picked the color Cherry Pink, which is there. Oh, you can't see it there, my apologies. There we are. And it's I had a little play before, and yeah, it blends super easy, so I think this is going to be really nice on the cheeks. And then there was also a primer like with gold through it, which was also a little bit popular, not as popular as these, but it didn't fit my budget, so I skipped the primer. I have plenty of primers. I'm sure there'll be videos around with using the primer. Okay, I'm going to prime my eyelids, and I'm gonna start applying the Into the Sunset palette, so I'll zoom you in. Okay, so I'm gonna start with this as a transition shade in my crease. Just a simple eye look. I'm gonna take this on my finger and then apply it to my mobile eyelid, and I think I'll do a different look for my other eye, just so I make sure I use as many colors as possible. Okay, now let's try this liner. I'm really unhappy about what happened there. I don't know if everyone has that problem or it's just me, because I put the lid on a bit more too forcefully. But yeah, I may have to cut this out because I'm not very good at liner, but if it's on, then everything worked out nicely. Alright, so I have kind of struggled to get it on and get it as intense as I would like. I had to keep turning it around, and it doesn't go on as smooth as I was like. It's kind of like stops. It doesn't drag on my skin, and I didn't feel the need to do this, which I usually feel the need to do. So I guess it's good in that sense, but I just kind of, it's just the color payoff, and I don't know, it just didn't work. I mean, when I do it on the back of my hand, it's fine, but when I try to do it on there, maybe because it is on top of eyeshadow, I don't know. So I'm gonna start on this side and do it when I don't have eyeshadow on, and I'm just gonna decide what I do with this eye after the eyeliner is on. So it went on a little bit better. The color is definitely more intense without going as many times over, but this happened again. Yeah, I'm very disappointed because this happens every time I put a lid on. Like, I don't know, how am I supposed to do it so it doesn't fray? Let's start with this on half of my mobile lid. And then I'm going to go into this darker green for the rest of my mobile lid. And I'm going to take a fluffy blending brush. Make sure that it blend nicely into each other. I may have to add a little bit more of that light shimmer. And then to blend on the crease, should we take the same orange? That orange all over the lid will look nice as well. Yeah, let's take the same orange. This brush is fluffier than the other one, so it will diffuse it a little bit more. Ooh, that's nice. I want to add a little bit more of that shimmer. I'm just gonna go on my finger. That usually helps. Ooh, there we go. Ooh, nice. Hello, shimmer. And then let's do a little bit in the inner corner there. That's much better already, I think. I mean, the eyeliner doesn't come off that easily, so I guess that's good. It kind of like dries quite well. It comes off with a makeup wipe, so you won't have a lot of trouble removing it later in the day. Before I finish the eyes completely, I will go into the foundation. I will use this again without any primer. I say again because in my previous video when I've tried a foundation on, I did it without a primer. So we have the Serum Foundation with Radiant Finish and SPF 30. SPF for me in foundation is just an added bonus because I like to have a good layer of SPF beforehand anyway, and I think that's probably better for your skin anyway, because you can apply the actual proper amount that you need to. So this one comes in 22 shades, and they are a little bit darker than the ideal flawless shades if you use those as a comparison. So I would say that the most of the shades are in the medium for the medium skin tones. Then you have quite a few for darker skin tones and a few for lighter skin tones. I say that it has light to medium coverage and it's sweat and humidity resistant. When it comes to the actual skincare in it, it has glycerin as the fourth ingredient in the foundation, so you will get quite a little bit of hydration from this. Yeah, so let's just apply it. It's not the first time when I'm applying it, by the way. So I'm going to apply, let's do half the face with fingers and half the face with a brush. I have applied it with a sponge as well. Oh, I think I might have a little bit too much for this half the face. But the sponge, in my experience, absorbs quite a lot of it. I find that a brush is better, or even fingers. So, oh, I didn't tell you my shade. My shade is Ivory. Ivory has a slight pink undertone, but it works well once it's you know, blended in. And you do have quite a bit of time to blend it in, so you can use it comfortably with your fingers. And then for the brush side, I'm going to use the Real Techniques 200, which is the Buffy foundation brush, is what I use usually. That's weird, I actually got more coverage with my fingers than with my brush. Maybe I'll apply to my face first and then work it with the brush. That'll probably work. It's a little bit liquidy, not very liquidy, but I think for that reason it can, like, your tools can absorb it quite quickly, which probably explains why I found that happened with the sponge, and then my brush didn't actually give as much coverage because I did this on the back of my hand first. Okay, so that blended in very quickly. I find they say light to medium coverage. I would say medium to full even. Obviously you can still see my spot because it's, you know, it's a spot. But like the redness around here, it's quite good coverage there, and the finish is definitely radiant. I absolutely love the finish. Actually, this reminds me a lot of the Profusion foundation, the one that I've recently just tried, and I was saying that this one is a little bit more on the yellow tone, and that maybe I should get something with pink undertone. So I think what I'll do instead, to save myself some money and save on some packaging, just combine these two. Although now this one matches me because I've got a little bit of a tan. I think they're very similar in how they feel on the skin and how they behave, and even finish is very, very similar. Let me try and get a little bit closer. I think this one started exactly like the Profusion one, kind of like settling into the lines there, but I expected that during the day it will also behave like the Profusion one and just kind of like sink in a little bit better, and those lines won't be visible anymore. But yeah, it still feels a bit tacky, again like the other one did. But I'm gonna do the rest of my face. I'm gonna finish my eyes, and then I'll come back and I'll see if it has set or anything like that. Okay, the foundation feels a little bit more set. I'll probably still powder it for the day, but yeah, it's a nice finish. It feels very nice on the skin as well. It doesn't feel heavy or anything like that, so that's good. I'm just gonna do a little something on my under eye. For the side, let's use this on the under eye. Yeah, it doesn't really work, but I've got a top, so I'm just gonna blend it out. I'm just gonna go with this over it. Hopefully it will look a little better. I just really wanted to use it and kind of like so you can see how it looks like on your actual skin, on my actual skin on the eyes. And then for the side, let's use the dark green shimmer thing. And we're gonna blend it out with the same color right there. Ooh, I like that. I definitely like how the colors worked on this side a little bit better than this side, but this is just because I wanted to use this shimmer that I haven't used before. So it's time for the lip and cheek blossom. So let's put it on my lips first. Feels quite nice on my lips. And now let's use a little bit on my cheeks. Should I go straight from here? Let's go straight from here and be crazy. There we are. And I'm just gonna take a stippling brush, just stipple it on. But yeah, absolutely gorgeous the way that blended in. So actually I didn't blot this, I just did a little kissy on the back of my hand and only this came off. So once this dries, it's kind of like a really nice stain, or a tint, however you want to call it. But yes, this is a definite win. One more colors. So later on or tomorrow I will do looks with the City Escape palette, and then at the end I'll give you my thoughts on everything. So see you for that. Welcome back. I'm going to do a look with the City Escape palette today. So it's going to be just one look on both eyes, so I have a nice thumbnail. So I'm going to show you on this side because I changed my mind about 3 times of what I'm doing, so I can replicate it on here. Okay, I am starting with a thin brush into the black shade and just lining my lash line, and I'm doing kind of like a flick. Okay, then I'm taking this kind of brush and I'm with a little bit more black on, and I'm just going to smudge it out just on the outer corner. Then I'm going to take a mediumly, it's a blending brush, but it's not a very diffuse blending brush, and I'm going into this. I'm just putting that all over the lid and just a little bit over the black. If you go too much over the black, then you can just add more black after. I am going back to the black. And as for this part, I'm just going to use my fingers. I'm gonna go with this in the first part of my lid, and then with this on the outer part of my lid. And now it's time to clean up all this mess. Now I'm going to use this shimmer in my inner corner, and depending on how it looks, I might use it under my brow bone as well. Right, I'm gonna go back to my thin brush, and I'm going to do my lower lash line. Okay, then I'm with the blending brush, I'm going to take that matte grey. So this is how the eyes look like with mascara and a bit of eyeliner. Okay, so let's start with the foundation. I really like the finish of this. It's very nice. I really like how it sits on my skin, especially in this areas where my pores are a lot larger. And yeah, you've seen how it sits on my skin, even though I didn't use any primer, so that is really good. I have it on today again, but I have powdered my T-zone just so you can see how it looks powdered. By the time I finished filming yesterday and like finished everything, it had set, so it does set quite nicely. I like that you can use it with whatever tools you like, including your fingers, so that's really good for me. It blends out very quickly, so all in all I really like this foundation. I do have a little clip of me later on that day with the foundation on, but you will see that my T-zone got quite oily. My T-zone is oily because I have combination skin. So I think if you have oily skin, you will still like it, but my recommendation is to powder because your natural oils will come through anyway, and you will still get that radiant glow from it. So this is a win. Now for the eyeliner, you've seen me quite struggling with it earlier in the video. But because I really like to know if I do something wrong, what it is, what I've done wrong. I have tried a little bit of troubleshooting with it yesterday, and I found that the reason my fibers caught and the brush tip got all twisted uppity, whatever you want to call it, is because this is a triangle shape instead of a round shape. So when you put the lid on, you got to make sure that it completely aligns. So what I've done is actually it didn't align completely, and when it was dead, I twisted it to align. So I think that's when the brushes, the fibers in the brush caught. But if you make sure you align it completely first, then you shouldn't have any issues. I've also, as you can see, it's not as bad as it was yesterday. I have tried to kind of like what do you call it, just to squeeze it a little bit, just to get it close together. And when I did that, because I did this on the back of my hand, so when I did that, the ink kind of like came through. So I will insert a little video here where you can also see the foundation of me trying this eyeliner after I've done that. I have gone a little bit crazy with, so please don't judge. I know I'm not the best at eyeliner, but and I also wanted to see how long it will take before you need to shake it again. And actually it works really well, and you can see when I've done like your regular lines that they worked out very well. It glided on so nicely, it didn't tug. I said yes earlier, I said that it didn't tug. I actually meant that it didn't skip, but it was tugging. However, when I tried it this way, it didn't tug, and it was just nice thin line, beautiful. I just wish this product didn't have such a learning curve. It's supposed to be a beginner friendly product, and the fact that you need to know how you put the lid on and you need to know how to get the ink to come out, it's not very beginner friendly for me, so it is still a little bit of a disappointment, but not as much as earlier. So if you do still want it, my recommendation for you is to get it when it's on offer, because you know, it won't cost as much. And also if you get it through a rep or even online, actually you can return if you're not happy with it. You got 28 days for that. Okay, next product is the Lip and Cheek Blossom, which you've seen that I have loved. It didn't last on the lips too much, but they do say it's a tint, not a stain, so they don't claim it has staying powder or anything like that. It's just something that I observed. On the cheeks is blended so nicely, and it lasts just as any other powder blush. I was also impressed of how quickly it dried on my lips. I thought I would have to blot my lips, but I didn't. So yeah, this is another win. Now we have the eyeshadow palettes. This I really like. I find it very versatile, and you can do so many looks with it. I could do so many looks with it. So stalk my Instagram because there'll be looks on there. And I don't really have any complaints other than maybe this one would have worked a lot better with the other shades if it were a warmer red or a truer red. And then this one is an absolutely beautiful smoky palette. I really like these two shades that can be used on their own. This one can be used on its own as well. It's just not something that I would use on its own, but you know, if you want to, you can. They're absolutely beautiful and soft, and yeah, just be careful with it. Use it before you put your foundation on. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any of these products, let me know what your experience was with them. Do you kind of agree with what I've said or disagree? That's absolutely fine. As usual, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of these kinds of videos and more of my face. Hit the bell so you know when I upload, and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me out. Thank you so much for watching again, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!